feel like in the latter stages of this season, we've kind of overlooked a certain driver. Now that may be because Logan Sargent got dropped. Oh, Logan Sargent. That might be because Daniel Ricciardo got dropped. Oh no, it's Daniel Ricciardo. It's Daniel Ricciardo, he got dropped. Or it might be because Lando Norris single-handedly made himself the biggest. No, screw circuses. Lando Norris made himself the biggest clown of the entire sport. I mean, look at this beautiful thumbnail that I made for another video. Go watch the video. But he's a fucking clown, no?
It's not talent or, you know, it's just luck. So
in the Brazilian rain, the Dutchman has delivered a defining drive. He climbs the hill back to Grand Prix victory. Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Not only has he been a clown, he's been complaining, whinging and whining. Instagram comments have literally not let him off the leash. They are holding on to him for dear life, making things so bad for him that it's unfathomable, and that's coupled with him losing the championship isn't the greatest of things for him. But we've overlooked all of this, right? We've forgotten about one of the worst drivers currently on the grid. Sergio bloody Perez.
5 minutes later.
Keeps on pushing up there.
Now, I feel like Sergio Perez was the laughingstock of Formula 1 at the start of the season. He was good at the start, mediocre, what Red Bull needed, right? Verstappen was winning the races, Sergio Perez was coming second. But then there came a tipping point, where Sergio Perez actually fell off a massive cliff. Yeah, when I'm being serious, he was literally failing at every single race weekend after, like, Japan. I'm being serious. I'm being more serious than Verstappen saying to Lando, shut the fuck up, I'm a 3-time world champion. Don't at me. Okay, hold up. The season isn't finished, right? Lando still has a chance to win the drivers, so if you want to see a good championship battle in Abu Dhabi this year, subscribe and like, let's hit 10k before the end of the year, and 13 likes. Maybe Lando can win. I mean, there's Monaco, when he qualifies like P18, and then crashes out of the race first corner. There's so many other instances that I can't even think about it, and it was like, it got drowned out because you didn't expect anything good from Sergio Perez anymore. A good race weekend for him was to stay alive during the race, hope that he doesn't go bowling like Bottas did in Hungary 2021, hope that he actually makes it to the checkered flag. A positive to that would be if he scores a point, if he scores a couple points. Round of applause for you. That would be amazing for Sergio Perez. And me saying that, I could say that about Williams drivers. I could say that about Haas drivers, Alpine, the bottom of the barrel teams who aren't doing fuck all. But Sergio Perez, while he can't score points, Verstappen's winning championships and races. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, the funny thing is that Verstappen is literally fighting against Lando, Hamilton, Charles, Sainz, Russell, Piastri. Sorry, remind me, who is Sergio Perez He's battling against Zhou Guanyu and Bottas for P18, P19, and P20. Sorry? Now, I can no longer say that he's doing all of that in the fastest car. The Red Bull isn't the fastest car, but he's doing all of that in the Red Bull, which is currently winning the championship and is going to win the championship in Las Vegas. Zhou Guanyu is closer to Sergio Perez than Sergio Perez is to Max Verstappen. I honestly don't get how one can be so bad after this many seasons in Formula 1. He hasn't had one standout performance this entire season. Every driver pretty much has had one good performance, and if they haven't, they've been dropped. Ricciardo, he had, what, nothing. I don't count the sprint race in Miami, that's a sprint race. Sargent had nothing, and he got dropped as well.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine! What the fuck is a kilometer?
And don't go down in the comments saying that Zhou Guanyu or Bottas haven't had any good performances. Agreed, they haven't, but they're also getting dropped at the end of the season. So, that is what I like to call sensible decision making. You're not doing well, it's time to go. However, for Sergio Perez, he hasn't been doing well. So by the sensible logic of other teams, he should have been out, let's say, a couple years ago. But no, he's still there. So it's either Red Bull just have bad logic, or they have Sergio Perez has some kind of chokehold on them to say, no, I'm staying in the seat. Or they're just stupid. Because I feel like after, let's say, Monaco, they should have done something about it. Because how is an average race weekend looking like a war ground for him? Now, it's not that he's a bad driver or such. I mean, right now, sure, he is. But back in the day, or a couple years ago, he was putting up performances that were, hey, that's, for you, that is impressive. It was like Logan Sargent scoring a point. That was like, wow, round of applause for you. Sergio Perez, 20th to 1st in 2020. That's pretty cool, right? A couple wins with Red Bull, a couple podiums here and there. Force India days were good. But we really just can't ignore this season, right? No. This season, last season, you just can't ignore it. The crashes have been endless. Like, there has not been an end. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z or something. An anime like that, it just doesn't end. There's like 1,000 episodes, and they keep on printing new ones out. Canada. What was happening in Canada? Why did you crash? Sorry, why are you that bad? Silverstone. What are you doing spitting into the gravel? Hello? You've been driving cars for more than 10 years, and you're still doing that. And that's just the crashes. And then there's the bad point-scoring finishes. They happen every race. Agreed, a crash doesn't happen every race, but bad point-scoring finishes, that's what's persistent. Whereas on Verstappen's side, persistency is podiums and wins. So there's the difference. But I think it's about time that we bring this whole Sergio Perez thingy-mabobby crisis back into light. Because Lando Norris has lost the championship already. That's long gone. Perez is back up to the top of my priorities of what the fuck is happening in this sport. Now, talking about a paid driver, we look past Nikita Mazepin. We look past everybody else in line and we jump straight over to Sergio Perez. Because the only reason why he's kept that Red Bull seat is because he has Kit Kat sponsors.
Next up, my Kit Kats. The favorite brand of my kids. Wherever I go, what they want to bring as a surprise is a Kit Kat. It's pretty easy because I have a lot of different flavors. They get really excited, so yeah, I take them with me. I love it.
Shush. Kit Kat? Hello? Really? Now, agreed, he has many more sponsors that are bringing in, like, for Red Bull, which I guess they need it. Who wouldn't want more money, right? However, Sergio Perez is the definition of a paid driver because his skill level this season does not equal a Red Bull seat. Give it to, say, Sainz, please. Maybe not Colapinto, because that's just too big of a jump. But keeping this trash can in there is aggravating. Now, ever since Japan, Verstappen has won many races, right? Verstappen's won the most recent race that we've had. Sergio Perez, in that entire time, hasn't scored a podium once. However, there was Baku where he could have scored a podium. Remember? He was running into the point. It was a good race. For the first time in the entire season, it looked like he was faster than Verstappen. For the first time in the entire season, it looked like he could finish above Verstappen. However, Sergio Perez, his inner DNA, his inner Logan Sargent comes out and he manages to crash with Sainz into the barrier. And it wasn't like a little light tap, like, I don't know what he did with Ocon in Singapore. It was a huge ass crash, which took them both out before the checkered flag, and therefore he missed out on good points and a solid podium, which is probably what he needed to boost his ego, which is non-existent because his teammate is Verstappen and he's getting humbled every single race weekend. Verstappen's like, yes.
Max Verstappen wins for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen.
While Perez is literally crying on the ground like a little child because he can't at all produce a singular good performance. And Red Bull, a team that last year won the Constructors' Championship by a country mile, literally a country mile, to now they were winning by a country mile. They've dropped down from first to third in like half a season. Why? Because of Sergio Perez, and he can't score points to help them win the Constructors. They've sacked off the Constructors ages ago, agreed that they're focusing on the drivers, and clearly they've done a good job at that, whereas McLaren are just scattering around in their heads. Don't know what to do. Headless chickens, brainless people. I guess at least Red Bull have the drivers on lockdown, or at least something on lockdown. But the thing that kind of questions me is that next season I think is going to be one of the best seasons of all time. Drivers upon drivers are going to be fighting for the championship, and teams upon teams are going to be fighting for the constructors as well. But why do Red Bull keep Sergio Perez when everybody knows that he won't be able to pull up a performance, and Red Bull have lost the Constructors' Championship next year before the season has even started? Why that is, they have Sergio Perez. I'd love to see an actual good driver in that seat for Red Bull to actually do good in the Constructors. As I said, give it to Sainz. Williams are happy with Colapinto, right? Of course. Oh, wouldn't be. Colapinto is putting in the work, putting in the hours, and taking what's Alex Albon's, and that's the points and the glory and blah 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 blah. Give Colapinto the seat. Come on, he deserves it. Bring in Sainz or bring in another good driver, but please.
For the love of God! For the love of God! Please!
The fact that up until like a couple weeks ago, I thought that maybe there's still a possibility that Sergio Perez does get replaced before the start of next season. Maybe Lawson goes over there. Maybe Yuki Tsunoda. But I think it's confirmed now with all these sponsors racking in and getting the AOK from Red Bull. I think it's time that we accept that Sergio Perez is going to be on the grid next year with the Red Bull. It's sad because he can't do anything. I mean, driving-wise, he's doing nothing. It's just a wasted seat, a good wasted seat that's going to. We all know Helmut Marko has been licking his lips at many drivers. Carlos Sainz, Colapinto, Piastri, Lando, and at the end of the day, he gives it to Sergio Perez. Yeah. At this point, it's gotten to the point where I think that Sergio Perez is a bigger waste of space than Lance Stroll in Formula 1. Lance Stroll, last race, do you see what he did? He spun out before the race even started, got stuck on the gravel trap, and that was the end of the race. That's all he did for the entire race weekend. And that is who I'm comparing Sergio Perez to. Both paid drivers, and both drivers who don't deserve to be in the sport, and I'm saying that Sergio Perez is worse than him, because Sergio Perez is... No, I really don't have any words for Sergio Perez. The only words I have is, get out, because you're taking up a seat. And what's he going to do in the Red Bull? The only reason why he's there is for the money and so that Verstappen doesn't feel threatened. I'd like to see Verstappen prove himself again against another teammate. Please put someone good in that seat. It's going to be another boring season next year. No, it really won't be, but that's the one thing that will... Anyways, with that said, if you think there's a small possibility of Sergio Perez being replaced, let me know who you want to see in that seat and whether this whole thing annoys you too. I don't know, let me know. Watch there, subscribe and like. Don't die, can't watch other videos. 10k by the end of the year. Come on, like, at 13 likes. Don't die, can't watch other videos. Blah, blah, blah. Repost.
That's all, folks.